Well, hello and welcome to our webinar today, Getting the Most Out of commonsku Collaborate. It's a great privilege to be able to speak with you for the next 30 minutes and going through the new commonsku Collaborate feature and why it's relevant for distributors today. By way of introduction, my name is Mark Graham. I'm the Chief Platform Officer and a co-founder here at commonsku. My contact information is mark@commonsku.com. And I'm also quite visible on the commonsku platform, commonsku.com/mark. If you have any questions at any point throughout the course of this webinar, please feel free to contact me. We also have a very special guest here today with Jessica Onions. Jess is with Jetline and she is with their inside sales team. And Jess, I'm sure many of you know her, has been in the industry for the last 5 years and she's been an absolute rock star within the promotional products industry, but she's also had a lot of experience in working inside the commonsku platform from a supplier perspective at Jetline. And so I thought it would be really impactful today to include her in with this webinar so she could show you how she, as a supplier, uses commonsku Collaborate. So we're going to be featuring Jess in a live demonstration, and we'll show you the interaction between a distributor and a supplier as it pertains to this new feature. We have an exciting agenda here today, and we're going to be covering a few different things. And we're going to start off with quantifying the size of the commonsku market. And this is important because I think suppliers want to know how large the platform is to see whether it's worth their time and effort to spend time and energy on the platform. Number two, we're going to define commonsku Collaborate for you so everyone's on the same page. We're going to outline 4 key benefits. Then we're going to talk about the existing suppliers that are on the platform that have joined since we launched 2 or 3 weeks ago. Then we're going to get into the live demonstration with Jess, where I'm going to play the role of a distributor and she's going to play the role of herself as a supplier, and we're going to go through a real live demonstration. Then we're going to get into a few pro tips for suppliers, and then we will finish it off with some questions and answers at the very end. By way of introduction, the size of commonsku is something that a lot of suppliers have asked about. And let me give you the statistics. And these are stats that are constantly changing. Unfortunately, they're moving in the right direction, which is up. But as of today, we have 150 distributors that use commonsku's business management platform to run their entire business from beginning to end. So commonsku for distributors is really an ERP system that allows for them to manage every aspect of their operation from beginning to end. This is important in the context of this presentation because the way that distributors communicate and work with suppliers is a key part of their experience inside of commonsku. 85% of the distributors that are using commonsku are within the US. The balance are in Canada, and then we've got a few distributors that are in Singapore, Australia, and New Zealand. But overwhelmingly, the focus of commonsku, at least today, is in the US. Then the annual sales volume that runs through commonsku, if you add up all of the distributors that are using the platform, is $215 million. So that's a market size that'll just put the size of commonsku into context for suppliers when they're thinking about devoting time and energy to commonsku as a marketplace. All right, let's define this commonsku Collaborate for you. So it is an easy way for distributors and suppliers to work with one another inside commonsku. That's it. It's a very, very simple premise, but can also be very powerful, as we'll go through in the live demo today. The killer app that some suppliers ask about is the ability for suppliers to suggest products inside distributor projects. And this is something that we'll go through in detail in the live demo with Jess. All right, 4 key benefits of Collaborate. And I want you to keep these in mind as we are about to flip over into the live demo, but they are as follows. Number 1, commonsku Collaborate gives you preferred access to the $215 million distributor marketplace. Number 2, it gives you the ability to work with your distributor customers and prospects inside their projects. Number 3, it keeps all the communication in one place, not only for the distributor that is trying to manage everything inside of commonsku, but also keeps everything in one place for the supplier who happens to be working with that specific sales opportunity. And then number 4 is the ability for distributors to add your supplier products to their presentations, to their estimates, to their sales orders in just one click. And I'll show you how that works in just a second. A quick shout out to the suppliers that have jumped on board commonsku Collaborate since we launched the product about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So we've had great response. They are BamBams, Jetline, HIT, Next, Peerless, Maple Ridge, Numo, Admints, Chocolate, Acron, Prime, and Snugs USA. So a big thank you to this initial group of suppliers. It's been wonderful having you on. All right, so this is my favorite part of the webinar, where we get to actually sink our teeth into the product, and this is where Jess is going to play a starring role. What we're going to be reviewing are 4 key parts of Collaborate. Number 1, we're going to show you how distributors invite suppliers into their projects. Number 2, we're going to show you how to post products to the newsfeed. Number 3, we're going to show you how distributors add products to their projects in just one click. And then we're also going to talk about how suppliers can leverage the commonsku marketplace directory to increase sales. So let's get into it. So I'm going to flip over here to a live distributor instance of commonsku. In this particular case, it's with an account that we call Vandelay Promotions. For any fans of Seinfeld, you should get a chuckle from that. And what I'm looking at here is the business management side of commonsku from the distributor perspective. And then we're going to flip into the supplier perspective in just a moment. So I'm a distributor here, and I'm going to go and I'm going to launch an opportunity. I'm just on my dashboard right now, which is giving me a full view of my business. I'm going to click into an opportunity here, and I'm going to select, let's say, ABC client. I'm going to call this Job Test 2016. The event type that I'm working on is a trade show, and I've got my billing contact and my billing address right here. So when I click Create, I'm now going to be brought into my opportunity, and the first thing that I see is the ability to invite suppliers into my project. We use the word project to define the group of opportunities, presentations, estimates, and sales orders that are all part of that project. And the way commonsku works for a distributor is that the distributor is able to go from one step to the next as they progress throughout the order. And a supplier can be brought in at any stage they want. But I want to show you right at the very beginning, because something that we really encourage and advocate for on commonsku is that distributors bring their suppliers in right at the very beginning, because we know that a well-informed supply chain is one that is really going to be super effective for their distributor customers. So I am going to add a supplier in this case. So I'm going to have this drop-down list. I'm going to click on Jetline, and I'm going to click Jess's name here. And Jess, I'm going to go and send you a brief here. So I'm going to say, hi, Jess. I have a client in the banking sector. ABC company is their name. They need 2 to 3 ideas for a trade show happening in Chicago in February 2016. They need 1,000 units, and the budget is $3 net per unit. Do you have anything fun that will allow them to generate more booth traffic and leads? Okay, I'm just going to write something very basic like that. You'll see it's not too long, but it's also packed with really actionable information. I can also add additional suppliers to this if I wish, and when I do so, each one of these supplier contacts will receive a completely separate notification. So it's not like they're all grouped into one, and each of these can be separate. So I might want to go and bring in another vendor in another different product category and include them. You'll also note that a distributor actually has the ability to invite a wide range of suppliers into Collaborate, and this is all pulled from the commonsku social directory. This is important to know that every one of you that's on this phone call right now actually has the ability to be invited into a Collaborate project and then to go and upgrade into this particular feature. So this has been really helpful in making sure that every supplier on social, at a very minimum, has the ability to be invited. So Jess, I'm going to go and I'm just going to delete this one here. I'm going to go and collaborate with you. And let me change the presenter over to Jess, and she is going to take it from here and show you the magic of adding products on her end.
Okay. And once a distributor sends you a request to collaborate, you'll actually get an email. But so you don't have to see all my inundated messages. I'll just go to collaborate here. And here we go. Here is the request from Vandelay Promotions. So what I usually do is just write a little message. Hey Mark, Jetline has some great products for your client's event in February. And you just click suggest product. Then you can either search by SKU or keyword. So we'll do some, get my keys relievers here. Now we'll just go up here. I'll sort by Jetline since that's where I'm with. And oops. We'll choose our bestseller SB100, and then we'll just add some other products here. You can just add by the product number. And when you're done, you just hit comment, and Mark or the distributor will get an email notifying them that you suggested product.
And before I flip it back to my screen on the distributor side, Jess, do you want to go click suggest product one more time?
Sure.
And I just want to make a point here that just type in maybe hat.
Okay.
So this is going to pull up, some people might have a question here. What's happening here is that we've done an integration with Distributor Central. So for all the suppliers that are part of the Distributor Central Pro feature, all of your products are pulled into commonsku Collaborate. So that makes it incredibly convenient for you because you don't need to re-enter any information. All of your product data through your Distributor Central instance is pulled live into commonsku. The other option that you have, if you, for whatever reason, don't use Distributor Central, or let's say there's a new product that's not on Distributor Central, then you have the ability to add your products to your private commonsku database, and that's what the Jetline tab is that's up there. So I'm not sure, you may not have added any. I think that you have added some, or actually it doesn't look like you have. It looks like these are you just filtered by Jetline. The reason you haven't is because, of course, Jetline is using Distributor Central, so there wouldn't be any reason for them to go add them privately to commonsku. So that's the question that a lot of suppliers ask. And the folks at Distributor Central have been great to work with. So I'm going to flip it back to my screen here. And if you go back into my, what I can do here, if I now click onto my home screen as a distributor, I can now, I've got my community feed, which most of you on here should be familiar with. And then I also have the ability to click on a Collaborate tab. And what that's doing is it's bringing up that exchange that I just had with Jess. So Jess has commented back with these great products. I can comment back here if I've got questions, like let's say, hey Jess, I've actually got an order for 5,000 units. Can you give me special pricing for the stress toy? Then Jess can come back and give that to me. Or I can say, you know what, this pen looks fantastic. I'm going to go and add that right into my job. Okay. And that's going to now go and add this right into my opportunity. I can click back into my opportunity here, and I can show you another way that I can see these product suggestions. I can do it through my add product area, and I've got not only the ability to search ESP, Distributor Central, and Sage. These are databases that we are integrated with on the distributor side, but I also have the ability to go and pull up all of the suggestions from the different suppliers that I brought into this particular project. So you'll see I've already presented the pen, but let's say I want to go and add the stress toy, then I can go ahead and do that. So this becomes really convenient for a distributor that is building a presentation not only through ideas from their supplier partners, but they may also want to be doing their own research through ESP, Distributor Central, or Sage. And that's how these presentations now get built, through their own research as well as through the suggestions from their supplier partners. So it's made it very, very convenient and quick for distributors to build presentations. So I want to show another feature, and Jess, I'm going to put it back over to you, and this is going to show you how you can use another part of Collaborate, and this is giving you the ability to post products natively on the newsfeed. What's interesting is that I actually just saw that right here. If you're looking at your newsfeed, some of you may be aware that some of the posts look a little bit different. And in this particular case, this is a post from Jonathan at BamBams, who is also using Collaborate, and he's natively posted this product right inside of this comment. But Jess, why don't I flip it over to you, and you can go and make a post and can show you how to use it on the newsfeed.
Sure. Okay, when you're in your community feed, all you have to do here is click Post Products, and it's just like if you're posting a regular comment or anything. So just stay warm this winter. Jetline's new blanket. So again, here you can search by SKU or keyword. So just click Choose Product. It pops up there, and you're good to post. You can post multiple products at a time as well.
There you go. And Jess also has the ability to do this as a comment as well. So if you're looking on the newsfeed and you see a distributor is asking about product ideas for a particular end client event, and you have something that you want to suggest to them, you can go and suggest products natively in that comment thread. So you can post it or you can do it as a comment. And why that's really helpful is I'm going to show you right now as to why that's really impactful. So let me just switch it back over to me. Okay, and let me just refresh my my screen. So I'm still on my Vandelay over here, and I'm now on my community feed, which incidentally is a public feed. I think that most suppliers know this by now, but I want to make this comment that what you're looking at on community here is now in the public realm, whereas when you're on Collaborate, it's completely private. So no other supplier, no other distributor competitor can see any of this information. This is all entirely between me at Vandelay Promotions and this specific supplier. So that's important for suppliers and distributors that want to make sure that they're the only ones that are looking this information. But of course, the community feed has become this really powerful tool that brings together all of the 4,000 individual users that are on the platform. And we've wanted to really allow for the newsfeed to become a place that's very business oriented and is very, very actionable from a product perspective. So I look at Jess's new Jetline blanket, and I'm just scrolling through the feed, and I go, oh, this is great. I am actually building a presentation for a client that could really find value from this. So I can either view the product if I want. Let me just go and show you this. So if I want to find out more information, I can just simply pull up this inside commonsku, and it will pull all the information. You can see here it's coming from the Distributor Central catalog, and I can see all of the price breaks as well as the images. If I think that that's a great product, I can go and add it to my job, and you'll notice this light box pops up, which shows me all my opportunities, presentations, and estimates and sales orders. So let's say I want to go and add this to everyone's favorite client, Bob's Fishing, that I've got a presentation built for. I'm going to go and add this to the order, and that's now been added to the order, and I can go and click into this and go and see the product right inside the presentation. So this is an additional feature and is really great for some suppliers that are looking to build market awareness on the commonsku newsfeed and pick up new clients. It's a great source of new business. The last thing that I want to show you in this live demo before moving into the final part of this is another very popular feature with commonsku Collaborate is the ability to mine the people directory. So this gives you the ability to see all the people that are using commonsku. I had a screenshot of this when I showed you the commonsku statistics at the very beginning. And this is a live and an interactive map where you can look up distributors. So if I want to go and let's say I want to go look up someone like Danny Rosen, I can go and see his profile, and I can see that he's in Raleigh, and I can go take a look at his profile. Or if I want, I can say, well, who are all the distributors that are on commonsku? And I can now go and scroll out and see all the distributors that are on commonsku. I can go and see all the distributors that are using our business management platform, the 150 distributors that I alluded to at the beginning. So this allows for you to really have a lot of very specific directory information, and it's something that I would really encourage you to take a look at. You can also click in, and if I want to go and find folks that happen to be in Raleigh, then I can go and I can look them up. And one of the killer features of looking at people's profiles is that you have the ability to mine the profile, and you can see what specific industries they sell to. So in this case, this particular user, Danny Rosen, is focused on these particular industries. And that's really helpful information for suppliers that are trying to cut through the noise and suggest products that are really relevant to this specific distributor. So there's lots of fun to be had on this directory. I want to get into 4 pro tips for suppliers. Then we'll start to get into how you can actually upgrade to Collaborate, and then we'll get into some of the questions. Keep it under 30 minutes here for people. So here are the 4 things that we've really thought about and we'd really encourage people to use when they're on the platform. So number 1, this is very obvious stuff. Respond quickly to distributors who reach out to you via commonsku Collaborate. You'll get an email notification which has got all the information in there, and what we ask is respond to them just like you would respond to a distributor that emails you looking for information. It's no different. The only key difference, I suppose, is that you're communicating through the platform, and that's what distributors are wanting you to do. So these are customers that are reaching out with bona fide, valid opportunities, and it's really important you reach out to them so they don't go elsewhere. Number 2, make sure your suggestions are helpful. We've really educated and promoted the idea of a full brief from distributors. But in the event that you don't get a full brief, you can simply comment back and say, hey, so-and-so, thank you so much for this opportunity. Really happy to help you. Can you answer a couple of additional questions? And you can do that just as a comment on the Collaborate thread. But then in return, if a distributor is bringing you in at the very beginning part of their project, show them your best ideas and put out your best effort. Number 3, you can mine the directory and leverage distributor profile data. That is such an easy tip, but it's amazing to me how many people, these are not people incidentally that are using commonsku, but it's amazing to me how many suppliers don't know basic information about their distributor prospects and customers. And if you put in that little additional effort and you go in with that angle that helps a distributor sell to a specific industry that they focus on, then you're going to cut through the noise. And then number 4, encourage your distributors that are using commonsku to invite you into their projects. So you can see all the distributors that are on commonsku from that people directory and reach out to them and say, hey, we're on commonsku Collaborate. We are here and we are excited to work with you on your projects. Invite us in and we will be more than happy to help you. So that's something that's important. All right, so how to get on to Collaborate. We offer a 15-day free trial for suppliers. Right now, for those suppliers that are not on Collaborate, you're likely on our free social product. Collaborate is a paid feature. It's a nominal fee of $99 per month for the entire supplier company. So if you're a supplier that's got 25 users on commonsku, as soon as one of those users upgrades to Collaborate, the entire company has the feature set that I just showed you with Jess. There's no contract with commonsku Collaborate, and you can start today, and it's all DIY. You can get started within literally 90 seconds by starting your free trial at commonsku.com/collaborate, or when you log in, many of you may have noticed this commonsku Collaborate Start Your Free Trial Now. If you click on that, It will ask you to enter your credit card information, which is not charged until 15 days. And as I say, you can cancel at any time. There's no contract. Before getting into the final Q&A, I just wanted to put up this quick slide. I'm not going to read this, but I wanted just to point out that if you're intrigued by what we're doing with commonsku and commonsku Collaborate, and you want to speak to recognizable people within the industry that have had success, tangible business success with this, I'd encourage you to speak to any of the people that were on the slide that I showed you before, but we've also had some people that have specifically given testimonials. In this case, Jim at Numo, Jen at HIT, and then of course Dan at Peerless. So these are just some examples of some of the things that they've seen from a tangible business perspective. All right, so we're doing really great on time here. First of all, I wanted to thank you for spending these 25, 30 minutes with me. But before we end, I want to see if there's any questions that I can answer. Number one, are the available suppliers only Insights customers? Are the available suppliers only Insights customers? And the answer to that is no. When you're collaborating with supply, like if I'm a distributor, if you're collaborating, you can access any supplier that is on the social network, which would include all of you that are on this call, because each of you were pulled from our social database. But when you are invited into the project, you're given the opportunity to go and upgrade to the free trial when you're given your notification. So if, let's say, I'm ABC supplier and I am not on Collaborate, I can be invited into a project by the distributor, just like any other supplier could be. And when I click on the button that says add products to this project, I will be taken to a screen that asks me to upgrade to my free trial. And that, as I say, takes about 60 seconds, 60 to 90 seconds. And then you are right in. And as I say, for those first 15 days, that is free. So distributors certainly have the ability to invite a non-Collaborate supplier in initially. All right, must we be online with commonsku in order to receive the Collaborate notification from the distributor, or is it our primary email address? So great question. So if I, again, using the example of ABC supplier, and if let's say it happens to be Mary Smith is, we're pulling her profile from the social database. So when Mary signed up, she signed up with her marysmith@abccompany.com email, and that's the email that she'll get the notification from. Incidentally, if Mary, in this example, is even tagged on the community newsfeed, which many of you probably have been, she'll get a similar email notification. So this is no different. This is actually really built on top of our social platform. It's just taking it into more of a business area. So thank you for that question. Is Collaborate available to all distributors/suppliers, including those that are not using the ERP system of commonsku? So right now, Collaborate is a feature that is only available to those distributors that use our business management software. Now, you also have access to all of the distributors that are on our social platform. So these are distributors that are using our community newsfeed and are collaborating with one another. They just don't happen to be using the newsfeed. They can see your suggested products just like a distributor using our business management platform can. The only difference is that a social distributor is not able to add that product to a presentation, because of course if they're not using our business management software, then there's nowhere for them to go and add that to. But they can certainly view the product and see all the pricing information and all the product information. So not only are you getting exposure to the 150 distributor companies when you post on the community newsfeed, but you're also getting access to all of the social distributors as well. So you get a nice bonus there too. Okay, thank you for that question. There's a question that's come in here. Is Distributor Central Pro an absolute requirement to use Collaborate? So at the moment, it is certainly not an absolute requirement. So your options, if you are not a Distributor Central Pro subscriber, you can add your products to the commonsku database, and that is something that is included in the feature. You can add that into a Collaborate opportunity. The only reason that we've added Distributor Central integration is that it makes it so much easier for those distributors that have their products in that database. We may release other product databases into the commonsku Collaborate feature, but right now we've started with Distributor Central because they've got a fairly large footprint and they've been great people to work with, and more than happy to talk to you about that offline as well. How many product inquiries on average per month for suppliers? So we just launched this Collaborate feature in the last 2 or 3 weeks, and what we've found is that we've got a couple of these that come out every day for suppliers. It of course depends on which supplier it is, but then if you combine that with all of the opportunities on the community news feed, you've got about 20 or 30 of these that are coming out each and every day that's distributed across the supply chain base, and that will only continue to grow. And of course, all of these opportunities are notified by email, and they're bona fide opportunities that are coming through to you from these distributors that are trying to bring you into their projects. All right, these are great questions. Thank you. Can you go over again what distributors have access to the Collaborate section? So I know someone else had asked a similar question there before. The answer to that is only those distributors. If I go back into my newsfeed here, Vandelay Promotions in this particular case is a distributor that is using our business management application. So they're the ones that would have access to this private collaboration feed. However, if Vandelay Promotions was just a social distributor, they have access to this entire social community. And here, I'll show you a live example. If I'm now go back to Jess's product, the only difference that I would see as a social distributor is I wouldn't see add to job on this particular tab. The only thing I would see would be view product. And then of course, if I click on the view product, I can then go and see this entire information. So social distributors still have plenty of access and plenty of opportunity to engage with you. A social distributor, incidentally, can also just put a comment on here and say, hey, Jess, this looks great. Can I have a sample? Or how much does this cost? Or I'm going to talk to you about this offline. It's just the additional advantage for a distributor that uses our business management system is that this is completely integrated into the rest of their workflow. Now, some suppliers have said, hey, that's a really fantastic feature. We would love to have more of our distributors on commonsku Business Management if it gives us this much greater access to their projects. And if that's the case, we're more than happy for you to evangelize and encourage people to use commonsku. Certainly send them to commonsku.com, or you can direct them to one of us. We're more than happy to help them with that. There's another question here. Is the community feature with the product integration from Distributor Central, like the post that Jess did, exclusive to the Collaborate membership? And the answer to that is yes. So if you're, again, as a supplier and you upgrade to Collaborate and you're on Distributor Central Pro, then those products are automatically brought in. If you are a supplier that is on Distributor Central, but you're just using their free product, then those products do not come in through our XML feed. That's a Distributor Central feature specifically, and we're more than happy to direct you to the great folks over at Distributor Central if you're interested in learning about all the different features that their Pro offering offers. That's not anything to do with commonsku. That is specifically a Distributor Central feature to allow that product information to come in to commonsku. Incidentally, those suppliers that are using Distributor Central Pro also have all of their products on all of the Distributor Central websites and all the other business service providers that might be integrated with them. So it's not just a commonsku benefit that you'd be getting. So there's lots of value there. All right, and then there is one other question here. We're a member of Distributor Central, ESP, and Sage. Does information pull from these databases automatically? Great question. If you're a distributor using our business management software, then the answer to that question is yes. So you have the ability to pull from Distributor Central, from Sage, and from ESP, provided you are a licensee of Sage and ESP. If you are, as a distributor, you can pull that information in, and that's been very, very helpful for those distributors. If you're a supplier using the Collaborate feature, the only database that is integrated with Collaborate at the present time is Distributor Central. There may be a time when ESP and Sage data will also be available, but as of this recording, since we first launched, only Distributor Central Pro is available right now. So I don't think there's any other questions, but these were fantastic. I really appreciate you taking the time. As I say, I just want to go back over here and encourage people to ask us questions, support@commonsku.com. And then, of course, you can find out more information right on our website at commonsku.com, or you can see the information when you log in to the platform. And just by clicking this button right here, that allows you to learn more about it to start your free trial.